See? It's all dope whenever I pay attention and respect myself. Okay, wait.
So bright.
My bad. I'm not sorry about the fans in the background. It's hot. What's good? What's really good? It's your boy Capital DC. Here today with Tamika. You know what I'm saying? Deanna couldn't be with us today. She had to take care of them kids. Take care of the kids.
His kids.
My kids.
Not my kids.
My kids. I got twin boys, Donald and James. You know what I'm saying? They represent my dad, my great uncle, you know what I'm saying, who my dad was named after. Lineage, heritage, you know what I'm saying? Bow, bow, bow. Trying to make it sound gangster. Trying to make it sound real gangster. Yeah. Oh, I'm a dad. I'm a real dad.
Yeah.
A for real dad. You know. And I have some family lineage and some stuff for myself.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know.
It ends with me.
You're like, I'm it.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom.
Oh.
Whoops. You gotta edit that out?
I got a hole in my lip, man. You know? So, you know. No, I'm not editing that out. I ain't edit out nothing else. I need to edit out this little belly sitting down here underneath the camera. That's what I need to edit out now. That's me. Nah, I was thin in high school, and then I got to college and was like, you can eat food at any time of the day. You don't have to wait until a specific time to eat food.
Yes.
And I was eating all day and all night, all the snacks I wanted. I ate enough sugar, so I had so much sugar in my life that I need to not eat sugar as much now. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm just...
And this is the opposite. Like, this is the thinnest I've ever been. Which was great when I went to, like, my high school reunion. I was like, what up?
You were pretty thin back then.
Well, I was heavy. I was definitely heavier in high school than I am now.
Absolutely, but it was like it was literally baby weight.
For sure.
I mean, obviously, the way you shed the weight, it was baby weight. So, yeah, if you had looked like you look right now in high school, you probably would have been... Like,
I always wonder if I would have been a better athlete. Like,
I was going to say...
Would I have been more agile? Would I have been able to jump higher? Like, I often wonder, but
that's interesting.
It is what it is.
Because I was able to jump higher and run faster back when I was smaller.
Yeah.
I didn't have to carry so much weight as I did that activity, so...
Now it's not so much the jumping, it's the landing that hurts.
Right?
Then I'm like, ooh, my knees.
Like, now my bones on the inside of my... I was worried about the outside. I should have been worried about the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but, I mean, at the time, I remember you were playing volleyball and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so, what was it? Glowworm? Glowworm?
Yep. That was a unfortunate nickname that I got in high school, so thanks for bringing that back up. Much appreciated.
Why did you say it then?
Let's not hope that sticks.
Bruh, why did you say it? Don't say that.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to hit you, but I'm going to want to. So don't say that.
It is what it is. Speaking of injuries and things, though, my fantasy football team won this week, so I'm 2-0. Yay! And, like, when we did the draft, there was, like, one team owner that talked, like, shit the whole draft, and I was against him this week, so this win just, like, felt even better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just like, fuck you and your shit talking. These nuts.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna talk shit when I win the Super Bowl.
That's gonna be dope.
If I win it, yeah.
Why not? Why not you?
Why not me? I want whatever the money prize is.
Whatever the money prize is.
I don't know what it is. It was only like a $25 league, so.
How many people are in the league though? That might
10.
Well, I mean, at the very least, that's $250.
Yeah, like, I would take that.
Yeah. It should be... Why would it be higher than that? I don't do fantasy football, so I just don't know.
There you go.
So, if you do fantasy football, hit like, and also put a comment down that you do that so that we know what's up. Maybe I can get into it, get involved next season or something like that.
We'll shout out people that leave comments, too, so...
Absolutely. We had a comment on a video. You said you know the person, right?
That was Barb / Andrea.
There you go.
Yeah, we met at Firefly. It's a music festival in Delaware.
Okay. Yeah. What is that about?
You know, you just like hang out in the woods for 5 days and go to multiple concerts.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Are the artists like dope, or is it kind of like
there's tiered. Yeah, it's like I saw Paul McCartney.
Oh wow, okay, well yeah, that's probably top tier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
But then also like I've heard like people that I've still never heard of. But I've also heard people that are like blowing up now, like Gary Clark Jr. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I'm not, but I will be.
I saw him like 2-3 years ago, and like he's starting to get more popular and stuff now. And I was like, yes, I saw him when he was still like super cheap to see. Yay!
I feel like that happens in Buffalo quite a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of celebrity people who come through here or come from here even, and then they feel so distant from the city because nobody's doing this type of stuff about them. You know what I'm saying? They're not saying their name. So I'm going to drop a name. And I ran into AI the Anomaly. She's a Christian, I wouldn't say Christian rapper, but I feel like her music goes a little bit step past just being about being a Christian. Like, she don't just talk about being a Christian. She talks about her life.
Okay.
And the way she rap and all that, she writes her own stuff, and you know, she's dope. Like, she, you know, we've had sessions where we was just rapping and stuff back in the day when we were younger. So now she's signed to a major record label and, you know, doing big things, and she's still working with children and doing photography.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
she's not like bougie about
humble.
Right.
Humble.
She's like super humble, and that's why I'm so proud of her. And it's like, for who she is, where she came from, for her backstory, all of that, Buffalo as a city, or at least the east side, or at least her job, somebody should be saying, hey, everybody, not just hey in the newspaper and we did our job. No, you need to like put flyers out, do a parade, have some commercials, put something on WBOK, put something on Kiss 98.5, let people know, hey, Buffalo has people who's doing something that's on the major record label level.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we also have
we aren't just doing chicken wings here, people.
Nah, I mean she can make chicken wings better than most of the places you go to in Buffalo nowadays. You know, chicken is chicken. But there's another guy that I wanted to mention. His name is DJ T Jizzle, who it was a concert that just came with, I believe, Cash Doll and Ty Dolla $ign and all of those people. And he was the DJ. Okay. You know, he grew up in Buffalo, DJ all in Buffalo. He was DJing at like 13.
Oh, wow.
You know, so while he was like, you know, 16, 17, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? He's like a major DJ that was up with the guys who were being mentioned on the radio. Yeah. But those people were from Toronto and from other places, and they were older. So I feel like he didn't get as much shine broadcast as much as he should have, especially for where he is now. You know, he toured with Drake, he toured with you know, The Weeknd, you know what I mean? Okay. Like, that's, like I said, major record label level. To them. During the time when he was rolling with them. You know, so a lot of times when Drake was shouting out Buffalo recently, he's been saying something about Buffalo, people have been attributing to TJ. So good.
You know that shit. You know Aubrey was coming over to Buffalo when he was younger.
Apparently he has. Like, from the conversations I've had, like, people are looking in Buffalo for artists. They just can't find the ones that are willing to work. Like, once the actual platform is there, are you prepared to be on it? Yeah. You know, and as a person who has desired it, I've been real flimsy with it. That's why I've never officially went to go do something, because I'm like, I can't go out there like this. I can't go out there like this.
Fumbling.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready to fumble. I need to be firm, like, more, please. Please. Or did you catch that? Or like, I'm not going with my hands out. Maybe I didn't want to go. You know, like, my goal was to like be a good human. Like, I just wanted to live that life, because I found a lot of these celebrities and rappers and people be they people who struggle so bad that they had to do what they're doing to get out of the struggle. And I'm like, I haven't struggled that bad. I've made a really good life out of my life so far. I mean, now you take money off the table and I've made an amazing life. For sure. Put money on the table, I've wasted my time. So that's why I think about it, and it's a real struggle juggle. You know, because I'm sitting there thinking like, well, you know, should I compare myself to a Will Smith? who was doing amazing things at my age now. He was doing crazy, amazing things. Or should I compare myself to like my own father? You know what I'm saying? It's more realistic for me.
Like somewhere in between.
And I am. Yeah. I'm absolutely in between.
A little bit of both.
Well, I am. You know what I'm saying?
High five.
I'm out here winning. You know, shouts out to my dad.
Y'all.
All day long. We keeping it real positive. High five.
And that's the extent of my singing
High
career.
five. I'm ready to hype man anything.
You really are. I like it.
Yo, I'm a dope hype man. Yeah. And I can really, really, really rap well too. So
yeah, I'd be a good like tour manager.
You're gonna be going to Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I will
get the bottled waters.
Totally maintain your schedule.
That's dope.
But don't ask me to be on stage.
I'm just saying, so for whoever just heard that, she's offering services that you could probably pay
Trying
for.
New things, y'all. You never know.
Man, listen, if you need somebody to organize your stuff, everybody says they need a manager when I talk to professional or paraprofessional artists in Buffalo. I'm sorry, I gotta say paraprofessional for a lot of these guys and girls because like it's like I'm a dad who does performance. That's how I've always looked at myself, except for those times when I was in this one instead of that one. And it doesn't happen a lot. Like I'll try, you know, open mics and doing local stuff, and then I'll go back in the house. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, y'all still kind of icky out there. I'm not really interested in hanging like that. But in the times when I was like, yeah, I'm down to hang out. Let's go. You want to ride to New York like this weekend? Then people clam up and they be like, ride to New York this weekend.
That's an 8-hour drive. What you talking?
Yeah, you can drive. You got a license, right?
Where we staying? We're
gonna stay in the car, man. We're gonna sleep in the car.
In no car.
Exactly. So all the stories I hear.
I have a bad back.
Hey, me too. Nah, I ain't a bad back. My back's strong.
No, college athlete. I am falling the fuck apart. Okay. For real.
You gotta drink more milk.
Milk is disgusting.
I had to throw a question mark on the end because I don't know.
In the order of drinks, in disgustingness, it goes milk and then water.
Water? Why is water at the bottom too, man?
I don't know. I just don't like water. I'm thirsty though, so I'm gonna drink this Dasani. We got Dasani in the house tonight.
Bam!
Dasani.
I just so happen to have one.
Yeah, I also got this one from your missus.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I acquired this.
I got this from your fridge.
I did not. I got this one from the bedroom that was sitting there already because I don't know where my water is, and maybe that was my water.
This was a freshie out the fridge. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, I know. No, this is good. We good. So, Dasani makes water.
And water's going to be the new oil.
Man. Water's always been the water of water. But people have figured out how to make it seem like it's about something else while they get the water. Watch your back.
And the money.
Protect your neck.
So, I was listening to the radio the other day, which isn't very often, because I usually just have like a murder podcast or something like that in my ear.
Murder podcast.
I also listen to this podcast called Behind the Bastards, which is actually quite funny.
Today on Behind the Bastards. And
so I discovered it was this song called Wiggle It. I had to Shazam it. Yeah. So it's French Montana and City Girls.
Oh,
so I've heard of French Montana because I think he dated a Kardashian for a little bit.
I know him from Don't Stop, Pop That Pussy, Don't Stop. Like he remixed with Luke Joint back in like 2013 or 2014, something like that.
Oh.
He was real popping in that time.
What was I doing in 2014?
You was probably living La Vida Loca.
Who knows? Anywho.
She was in Superstition. Okay.
Anyways. So one of the, City Girls, it's plural, so I guess there's multiple females in this.
It might just be one girl nowadays. You never know. People do different things.
Have you heard of them?
Yeah, but I don't keep up.
Or her?
I don't keep up. I grew up in a certain neighborhood where I heard people talk like that all the time, and I'm not interested in hearing women talk like that.
It was definitely quite interesting. But one of the things that she brought up was period sex. Mid-rap verse.
See what I'm saying?
And I feel like that's not talked about enough.
It has been in my life. That's why I don't want to. I don't need to hear no more.
But I was just like, wow. I was quite excited to hear it.
See,
on
that's
the
why
verse.
people like these cats. They never heard the stuff before. But when you've heard it, like when you've been
These
overexposed.
are the unspoken things that are happening.
But that's what I'm saying. When you've been overexposed like me, it's not new to me, so I don't recognize it as new.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, oh wow, she's doing something that's not being done. I'm like, she talking about that shit these old hoes used to be talking about back in the day.
Why is that gotta be hoe stuff?
Because that's what they was. The women that I was around that was
No.
saying the stuff that these rappers are saying. I'm talking about the voice pattern, the context, the content, what they're talking about. I used to be around women who
strictly the fact that
charged men for money. That's what I'm saying. Like I wasn't part of the scheme. I was just hanging, talking, getting to know people, driving people around. And during some of these conversations, I would hear all of that stuff that they saying. So I'm like, I'm good with like stripper culture. I'm cool with hearing all of that.
I'm just like, wow, it's on the radio.
I'm learning how to appreciate it for its newness for others. Because I don't have to have that conversation
where y'all
with
been?
you. I feel weird about having a conversation. I'm a dude. Like, how am I going to have a conversation with you about period sex?
I don't mean you specifically. I just mean...
that's what I'm saying. Like, as a man, I'm like, I got to let them just say that stuff.
Where y'all been? Like...
Trying to act like we don't do it.
You do.
It's not...
Not everybody.
No, not everybody.
No,
not everybody.
Like,
some people...
But, yeah, there's some people that aren't bothered by those things. But yeah, I was just like, did she just say that? And then I was like, shame. Girl power.
But that's the thing. I think nowadays the shame of the topic is being dismantled.
There's total period shame, and I'm all about it being dismantled.
But I'm desensitized to the shame.
Bright pink pad, just going to the bathroom. Like I'm not hiding it. I'm not taking my person.
No wonder.
Nope.
I never really thought about that. I'm so
desensitized.
To be
shameful about it.
That's what I always felt.
But that's because of Planned Parenthood.
I agree. I knew more about women's periods than they did, all the way up until 30 something. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you on your period. I get it.
Yeah.
Can you please not freak out on me if you can control any of that? I
just tell people to stay away. Like,
see what I'm saying? Help me. Help me. Help us.
I'm gonna sequester myself for.
Man, listen. I can go on vacation.
Period.
I can go to a hotel for a couple of nights. Let you have a whole house,
or
you can go to the hotel.
Yeah, let me know.
What I mean? We can flip that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll compromise. We'll rotate months.
But don't be nasty and mean towards me. I don't understand it. I don't do good with drunk people and people who can't control.
Sober people never do good with drunk people. I'm a delightful drunk. I found out. Now I'm a delightful drunk.
I hit that Anthony Mackie smile.
There's a video that my mother recorded.
She got you?
2, actually.
She got you twice?
She got me twice. Wow. I'll show it to you later.
She probably got you 3 times. She waiting on the 3rd one.
I don't think so. It's been a few years now, so I feel like she'd have busted it out already.
She probably waiting for that one.
It's going to be like my wedding reception. Remember this?
Oh no, how old was I?
A projector screen comes down from the sky. She pre-planned it. My mom is the ultimate planner. It's fantastic.
Uh-oh, you got access to the child prodigy of the ultimate planner, so you can management, organize. We definitely gonna talk after this. We gonna talk after this.
I'll show you the drunk videos. They're funny.
We're gonna see some drunk videos and do some management or.
And then I apparently slept on I tried to sleep on a book bag that night, and then I ate some food because drunk bitches love food. Drunk people actually love
a lot.
Food. Yeah.
Chicken wings will get
and
you.
Sober. I love food. I went to before I came here. I went to VIP karaoke.
Okay.
On Maple.
I've heard of it. I just haven't had the pleasure.
Their food is slamming.
Now I gotta get up there.
I got the bulgogi and rice.
Bulgogi?
Yeah, it's like marinated thin cut beef. It's in like a sweet soy sauce, and then they serve it with rice. Delicious, so good. And then we got some wings, some Korean barbecue, some Korean chicken wings.
What's the flavor on that? Like spicy or peppery?
It's a little spicy, but it's another like sweet soy. Everything's soy sauce based, but delicious.
I like food, so I'm very attentive about this.
there was like 4 of us, and it came to like $70. So like the food, and they had alcohol.
Hey, that's less than 20 per person.
Yeah.
And with alcohol?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good night.
Yeah.
$70 for 4 people?
I think that's what it was.
So we're going to start having packages for people to have a good time, because y'all don't know what y'all doing out here in Buffalo. Buffalo has some great attractions.
Their karaoke is in private rooms, so you can rent a private room and just get drunk with your friends and not embarrass yourself in front of everybody, just your friends.
Right.
Which I'm about. I'll embarrass myself in front of my friends. I've done that already.
Yeah. We don't mind.
Yeah.
Embarrass yourself.
Randos, though.
Give us something.
No, I might see you in the streets.
Oh, I know
like,
what you're talking about now.
Buffalo too small for that.
You will see somebody in the street.
They'll be
or
like,
at the mall or
oh,
something.
right, and like, I got dreads, and you like.
You pick out. I could pick you out in the crowd, easy. I can pick you out in the crowd of people with dreads. I can. Well, I'm a weirdo, so
in Buffalo, I can be picked out relatively easy.
Now,
so
listen,
they'd be like, "That's the drunk
in
bitch
San
from
Francisco,
the
you
Not at
can't
all.
find Tamika. You be tapping dudes on the shoulder. They be like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, bro, how dare you think I'm a female? What the hell is wrong with you?
When
He'd be like a for real like Crip, and you like, oh my bad, brother. I thought Tamika was wearing blue today. Like I swear.
No, I'd have been like, oh, I just gonna wear all black. Is that safe? Is that safe? I don't know.
I
had that experience
colors.
in DC. So like my mom's hair. It's
beautiful.
It's all natural, beautiful.
Angela Davis.
Yes, I love it. But like that's how. And my mom's tall. She's 5'10", so that's how I was able to.
How you doing?
Fight.
I was just saying hello.
I will throw punch you.
I
will
was
throw
just
punch
saying hello.
the shit out of you.
I was making sure my face wasn't wrong when I said it. I was just saying hello real quick. Not to anybody in particular, but just hello.
I will beat you.
I ain't getting
Anyways,
beat alone.
If I strangle you with this cord right here.
But that's my cord.
Yeah.
You can't kill me with my
Yes,
stuff.
I can. Yes, I can.
I need
this
that
is
to plug
called
the camera in too.
a weapon of opportunity.
Listen, if this show is short today, it's because she's gonna strangle me with the camera that's plugged up to. That needs to be plugged into the camera.
This is a charger, first of all.
Yes, for the camera.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, out in public,
now we
when
can keep going.
like lose my mom, I can always find her.
By her hair.
By her hair.
Okay.
So we were at the African American Historical Museum,
In
African
DC?
American Cultural History and Cultural. Yeah, the new one with the long
the Black
name.
History Museum.
Yes, it's got a long name, but it's awesome.
I've been there.
I lost my mom.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to find her up in there.
So couldn't.
It was mad
I was like,
women in there.
That's not my mother. That's not my
You know
mother.
what?
All this natural hair is giving me life, but I can't find my mama.
It's really like I do get a feeling of how, and some, I mean, I'm so skeptical. Some stuff I can't say I don't believe, but some stuff I don't jive with because the stories sound weird. But according to the stories I've heard about slavery and people finding each other and all of that type of stuff, I kind of get that feeling when I'm around all of these brown people that I'm not usually around. So I start seeing my mother, my cousin, my brother, my friends in other people. I'm like, oh shoot, that look like so and so. That look like so and so.
There it is. That's not my mother's hair.
Yeah. So I mean,
and my dad did the same thing. Like we both experienced it at the music because we're like, well, we're all on the same floor. We'll run into each other eventually.
Y'all might have walked past each other just like that, but
42 times.
Yeah.
And just been like lost in the sea of
looking
brown.
a different way at the same time.
Yeah. Magical.
Was it easy to find your dad?
Well, yeah, he's white. He stuck out like a
No,
sore thumb.
that's what I'm saying. Was it easy to find him? It's white people that be there. Be mad white people there.
For sure.
White people work there too.
I excuse
it's
the
not,
hell out of some because this
weird.
one girl was just like all up in front of the Obama exhibit, just in the way.
Like
and
trying
I
to make love to the exhibit?
Well, like I just feel like it was bad museum etiquette in general. Like back the fuck up so everybody can see the exhibit. Like this ain't just about you.
Right.
And so I, obnoxiously cleared my throat a few times until she moved. What are you doing? What's happening? Did you unplug the mics?
No.
No?
I was trying to figure out what all that extra air. I turned the fan off. So that way we could get a better sound, right?
He's going to melt. Because I run cold.
I'm trying to see if it's still real hot in the studio. It probably is. But we'll know in a couple minutes. But then I was like, where's all that extra coming from? Audio people can hear me. Like the techie people, they're like, they're with me right now.
I'm like, I don't hear anything.
it's my laptop. I have a HP. It's got an i3 core in it. That's how old it is. All right. Right. So basically, that joint is sitting mad close to the camera, so it's still like running loud. That's all. So as we continue with our podcast and we
proceed,
I like that. And
to give you what you need.
Maybe I did turn them. Oh no, what I did was I turned the microphone.
Ow.
I might edit that out. We're gonna turn the microphones back to a reasonable.
No, thank you.
A reasonable level. So now you can hear a little bit better because check 1 2.
What is this, our first episode? Get it together. Get it together.
I was trying to check to see if I was checking them when we was doing good. Everything was fine.
Everything was fine until you turned the fan off.
I was trying to see if I could help y'all hear better, and I ended up getting hot.
I'll just like cup the mic like it's a windshield.
Listen, it's hot. That's all I can say. It's just
It's
toasty.
not supposed to be. That's the problem.
It's actually cool outside, and I thought it would be nice in the studio at this time of year. That's why we started the show at this time, because it's getting cooler.
But I'm still in t-shirts.
I mean,
it's supposed to be like 80 degrees tomorrow.
Oh, well.
Almost. Like high 70s. That is absurd. No such thing as global warming, though.
Man, listen. Can y'all do something about that, please? Somebody. I'm not going to do nothing because I don't know what's happening. I just know that I'm scared, and I don't like radioactive boar running around.
Boar?
Radioactive boar. Okay, I sound crazy, don't I?
A little bit.
We got to watch some stuff. So we need to watch some news. You know what I'm saying? Follow the stuff that he's saying in the show to see if what he's saying is real, even though he's presenting real information. We need to still look
Don't
into
be on
what
that
he's talking
bullshit,
about.
Donald.
Nah, he not the screaming dude with the blazer on. It's not that. Like the gay frogs are in his water. It's not that dude. It's not that dude. I can't remember his name since they took him off. Alex something. But since they took him off the airplane.
Oh, Alex Jones?
Yeah.
That fucking nutbag.
He's a great actor. That's like, what if Donald Trump was like that guy? I see them as the same guy.
They kind of are.
I see him as the same guy. But also Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cop. Like, I see him, that character, Axel Foley, that's Trump too, though.
I have vague memories of that. I don't even know if I saw all that.
I'm old, so I saw everything.
Oh, I mean,
okay.
Yeah, you're older.
Except for Casablanca, Gone with the Wind. I didn't see Shawshank Redemption.
You've never seen Shawshank Redemption?
I don't like watching slavery movies.
It's not a slavery movie. It's a prison movie. That's a different type of slavery.
And my second is prison movies. I don't like watching captivity movies.
But he escapes.
I don't like watching the struggle. I don't like watching the struggle like that.
Oh, it's so good.
Like Django, I was nervous about going to see because they said it's a slavery type movie with da-da-da-da. Then when I found out he was shooting people, when they said one person was like Jamie Foxx shot somebody in the movie, I was like, I'm going to see it because it ain't 12 Years a Slave. Which
yeah.
People came out the theater and they was like, it's free.
I watched 12 Years a Slave on a portable DVD player at an airport.
Did that take some of the sting out of it?
When my flight was severely delayed. And so I ended up on the airport floor weeping because I'm a crier in slavery movies. To people then coming up to me going, "Are you okay, sweetie?
Look off me.
Is there something you need?"
Get your white hands off of me.
Yeah, so I'm like, "Fuck you, colonizer, with your white saviorism." But I do need a tissue, and I can't leave all my stuff.
You give me this white tissue and this white help, please. Because these niggas around here ain't doing nothing. Why y'all niggas ain't doing nothing?
No, it was late anyways. But there was like hardly anybody at the airport. But everybody that walked past me was just like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like, "I'm just watching a movie that's sad."
Man, times have changed, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were able to get some support in that situation. But I'm just thinking, like, even like, it just ran across my mind. Like when I said, when I said,
we need to get a camera.
we do have a camera. We're gonna get it.
I'm gonna bring my iPad next.
We're gonna get an upgraded camera,
yeah,
so that we're not interrupted by notifications and things on our current camera.
I'm gonna bring my iPad.
I wonder what's happening. Somebody must be in trouble.
You might want to take that.
I'm not though.
This might be our commercial break, y'all. We might be right back.
We're gonna be right back for the non-emergency that I have to deal with because people call me with non-emergencies because they think I'm not doing nothing, but I'm doing something.
BRB, y'all.
We got.
All right, answer that call.
Just in case I don't edit this correctly at all. Thank you for being patient with us.
We're back.
We back. We right back. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get out of here real soon.
We're back for like 5 more minutes.
Everything's good, but yeah, we're gonna wrap up the show soon. But in that last point, I was really just trying to say how different times are, and where me using the word, like me using the phrase, like saying where y'all niggas at. Like some people think I'm talking about like rapper guys that are hood with money. And I'm like, no. I'm talking about like Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop. that movie was important in my household because that was like the first time a black person was acting like a hood or ghetto, or he was acting like he came from the street. And he was able to be in front of all these people and not be treated bad or beaten or told you can't talk like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was one of the first times we were able to see that. And I was able to see that. And then it seemed like it was really important to a lot of people around us. But nowadays, it's like saying it like that. People are like, oh, he's so untrained or he's not professional because he uses that language. That word died back in 2006.
That's how white people feel about it.
Oh, well.
In my opinion, like...
I'm listening. I get a weird treatment from white people when it comes to...
Some people are like, oh, you shouldn't say it. And I'm like, listen, sometimes it applies, just like fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, I'm a big proponent of the word cunt. I love the word cunt. I should have been British, okay? But like people are super offended by it. I'm just like, it's just another word for vagina. Like, whatever.
Which
Don't
is
be a
slang word.
Yeah.
It's a slang word for vagina. I like all things
Now,
vagina.
white people can't say nigga or nigger.
Some,
either one will get you punched in the face.
Some can and have not been punched.
But they should have been because I don't believe in passes.
I don't know. I'm the type of person that's like this.
But I also
don't
say it as often as I used to.
If you using it in the right way and you a nigga, I don't care what your skin look like.
No.
I know niggas when I see them.
No.
I know white niggas.
No.
I know Puerto Rican niggas. I know Hispanic. I know Mexican niggas.
I'm more okay with
Arab niggas. Like
they are all people of color, so they all get treated.
I know Norwegian
like
based from the country. I know
but
European
if your
niggas.
Skin is Caucasian,
I know some
you
European,
better not have the
Asian niggas. I met an Asian nigga. She was a female.
To drop an N-bomb in front of me and think I won't have something to say to you about it.
I hear you, and people get mad at me when I say it because.
But I don't care if black people say it. Go ahead.
Like, yeah, they like, oh, how you gonna make it okay? I'm like, I'm not making it okay. That shit is what it is. But I've never met a white person in my life who did say it or was saying it who felt at all like I'm saying this word because I can, or I'm putting you down, or any of those
that's how
things.
I've heard it.
I've never heard it like that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I guess we have different experiences.
Well, I grew up around niggas. So, I grew up around niggas. Real, actual...
I grew up in Watertown, so, again.
Like, yo, I mean, not even like gangster, ghetto. I'm not even talking about that when I say nigga. I mean, like, I grew up around some dudes who can talk that street shit, who would be like, bruh, we can have a good time and all that, and be just fun, and not making things weird. Like, there's a difference between a nigga and then, like, a Christian guy, a church guy. Like a church guy who's black is gonna give you a totally different approach than a nigga who's
for
black.
sure.
But then a hood nigga is it's all different. And
so there's tiers.
There's mad tiers to this.
Okay.
Because you know I was born in the era of labeling everything. Like
For
I was
sure.
right at Post-its where we was like, let's label literally everything in the house.
But like.
So we have tiers to what, like, bitch, the difference between a bitch, a hoe, a slut, a skank, all of that.
Yeah,
like,
and all that, like, no, you have to eliminate that from your vocabulary now.
That's the part that I'm saying is that times have changed.
Yeah,
where
for sure.
It has to be eliminated versus evaluated.
Yes.
Which I think evaluating it would have been dope if we could have broken down why Axel Foley as a character was dope and why the things he was saying is da-da-da-da. And why his character in Delirious, the comedy special, you know what I'm saying? Why his character was saying these words and doing this, you know what I mean? The whatever. But there's never been an evaluation to say, okay, Don Imus, which is a story that died, and I'm digging it back up real quick.
Okay.
Don Imus was the radio guy who called the basketball player girls. He said they nappy-headed hoes and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember him.
That wasn't the full whole story. Like, they were saying some dumb shit anyway. Like, they were shithead dudes who were saying some dumb shit and come from a time of being able to say dumb shit. But nobody talked about that part when scrutinizing
But you can't
them.
say dumb shit when you're, like, on a national... I mean, you can say dumb shit.
Is how they got there.
You can say dumb shit, actually. You can't say dumb shit without repercussion.
Absolutely.
And that's where the disconnect is, where people are just like, well, I can say whatever the fuck I want. You can. I can say whatever the fuck I want. You can say whatever the fuck I want. But that doesn't mean that whatever the fuck we say is free of consequence.
But that's the part where
and
I'm saying
that's where people aren't exactly
because the consequence is a fine dark line over an area
and it's more
of
immediate,
gray. Right? And
I
it's
mean,
over,
social media
it's sitting in the area
access
of gray,
to
though.
like instant things instantly.
Like the line is black, but it's gray on both sides of the line, so the line is in the wrong spot.
But also in his position, like you're coaching, you know, black athletes as well. I mean, there was like a sprinkling of them on his team as opposed to the Rutgers squad that was like entirely African American. But then it's like, how do you think your players feel? You know,
he didn't care.
Exactly.
He shouldn't care. That's what I'm saying.
He should care.
This is what I'm saying. Times have changed to where people care now.
He should care.
That's what all I'm saying in this conversation is that people have gone from not caring about how you feel to caring about how somebody else might feel. Not even how that person really feels. Like, it's a question mark on if that person even really feel that way. I'm just going off of the way their eyes looked down when the situation was over. I think that person was upset. And it's like, was that person upset? They may have displayed some things about being upset, but it could be for a totally different reason. You know what I'm saying? It could be for something else besides what we saw. But we're not evaluating. And that's all I'm saying, is that we've jumped the gun so fast on elimination that we haven't taken the time to say, well, how do we evaluate?
Well, no, I think that
what's happening in front of me.
That whole mindset is circumstantial, and I do feel like there are some situations that do require an immediate and very definitive response. I
think the response should be like evaluation, though. It shouldn't be elimination. Is all I'm offering, is that we skipped. I feel like we switched over into it so fast that we're not doing it, and now it's not even available. So for a situation of me being on this podcast saying, where them niggas at? Nobody's going to evaluate where I'm from, what I'm talking about.
Say niggas.
Right. But if I was if my skin color, and I'm not even saying that I'm white, a white guy in stereotype. I'm saying my skin is white from vitiligo or just from another, my skin is just white. You know what I'm saying? So, or I'm mixed, or biracial, excuse me. I'm biracial. So I'm more light. I'm just very light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, how is it that I'm going to sit here and say, where them niggas at, and people laugh along and go with it, and they don't call me on the same thing they would call me on if I was lighter skinned. They would call me on that if my skin was lighter. Now,
that's because you wouldn't be black. You'd be white.
This is the issue. That's how I heard the story what you're saying and what we're doing, not what you're saying, but what the climate is now is what I heard about what quote unquote white people was doing to black people from the 40s and 50s and 60s and treating them bad and stuff. Just because their skin was
shit is
black.
still happening today.
And that's
just
what I'm saying.
Our
like,
skin is black.
But that's what I'm saying. So for the conversation of being like, why are you saying that? It's like, but we're not evaluating though, because if this white person whose skin is white is saying that shit, and that's what they saying. And I know some people that's like, yeah, I said that shit. We can get it fighting up. We can get it popping. Like, they with the shit, but
white people
they're not
know
trying
better
to be,
now.
That's what
so
I'm
the
saying.
fact
It's not
that, like,
just
when
like
they
white
say
people
it,
know
it just
better.
comes across as like you don't give a fuck.
But that was the part I was saying. He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
My man Jeff didn't give a fuck.
He didn't give a fuck.
That was Jeff. But Jeff lived around the corner. How is he not a nigga? We all broke and trying to make it.
But I feel he was not broke. He was making millions of dollars as a college basketball coach.
Oh, I'm sorry. We jumped into my personal situation. My bro Jeff was with us. He was one of the nickels.
I can't even with you.
But you talk about but seriously, but with the Don Imus situation, I'm not sitting here. I was never defending Don Imus. I don't care because he's a wealthy man who made decisions on his own.
Like, I was listening to a 30 for 30 podcast about Donald Sterling and like that whole debacle shit show with the Clippers and Adam Silver's response, and it was like banned for life. That was definitive. It was quick. It was necessary. I feel like it was a pivotal moment for the NBA, for his career, for a lot of things.
And I think that the only part I'm saying is that, okay, that situation, there may have been some swift evaluation. Maybe it was. But we're not getting any evaluation in some other situations where it's like, one, y'all wasn't evaluating a situation before. And
that was not the first time he had said some shit like that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at a person like, if we
like, things aren't being handled until it comes to light.
But that's the problem. It's been in the light over here. In evaluation, it's been lit up. We evaluated it. R. Kelly likes young women.
Oh, God.
He's married young women with permission.
And without it.
He's dated young women.
He's peed on young women.
We got the files. So where was the uproar in 92?
I was mad in 92.
I was mad in 92 because I was like, damn, I was trying to get with Leah, my nigga. You checking all the good bitches before I get to him.
I was just like, how is he peeing on children and not in jail? No. The fact that R. Kelly's reckoning is coming now, while I am glad it is happening, I am infuriated that it took this fucking long.
There's another step to this,
because the writing was all over.
But there's another step to this. I totally don't think he ever was like, I'm manipulating you.
He was grooming children.
I don't think I'm a part of that mindset, so that's foreign to me. I've grown children in not ways for my personal pleasure.
That's fine.
That's why I'm like,
That's fine. All of that aside, there is video evidence of him having sexual relations with a minor. That alone, he should be in jail.
It's a tough
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You are having sex with a child. That is not a tough... She's 14, Donald.
I'm only calling...
How old's your daughter?
My daughter 13.
Okay, then.
See?
So, next year...
We got mad different...
Next year, let's say R. Kelly comes driving down the street...
Listen.
Playing Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, because he produced the track.
Robert, if you want to date my daughter, you come talk to me. We're going to get the contract signed up. We're going to figure it out. Don't worry about it. I ain't going to say nothing. Because on this podcast, I don't have to care. That ain't my daughter in real life. I'm trying to get to a point where I'm like, yo.
Is that how you really feel?
No, that's not how I really feel. But there is a attitude of he has money and resources, therefore he's a mark
his money,
or a trick.
He's not a mark.
He's
proven.
He's a mark and a trick. It's a problem.
Actively seeks kids at malls. I'm sorry, he actively seeks...
You talking about Roy Moore?
I'm talking about R. Kelly.
Or Roy Moore?
What?
Oh,
both of them.
But I'm just saying, like...
But, you go to malls and McDonald's and you hang out at your old high school.
I know people who do these things. That's why I'm like,
that is inappropriate.
30-year-old men
unless
who go to
you are a
teacher
parties. Or a coach at that school or on the PTA or a volunteer
there's just
or on the payroll in some way, shape, or form, you don't fucking belong there.
I agree for myself personally, but as I've been,
I'm speaking for the world.
That's what I'm saying. I can't speak for the young ladies who were not swindled, and that's the part where I'm like, well, if there are women who, you know, was like, hey, Miss Kelly, I want to sing some songs, and we just
yeah,
sing.
But when he's
and then
like,
he flips
hey,
it
I'm R.
into
Kelly,
sex.
and you're 15, 16 years old, come into the studio, I can make you a superstar.
He's absolutely telling you the truth, though. So I'm not sitting here saying it's okay. It's just that he's not selling you a dream.
He's selling you a dream.
Not if he's making you a star because he's R. Kelly.
But how many of those girls did he make a star?
I don't know how many girls it was. Listen, let me be clear.
Did you watch the documentary?
First, let me clear some stuff up before we wrap it up because we're supposed to have been left. One,
we were.
Not my daughter. Not my daughter for real in real life. Not my daughter.
Kelly got me hot right now.
I didn't pay attention to none of that stuff. I don't like watching stuff where it's like, and then he rubbed my back. Listen, if Donna was in a situation on both ends, I'm not a perpetrator.
Okay, so you're also a man, so you
that's
really
what I'm saying.
can't.
As a man, I can be like, yo, I'm not in the process of, my brain don't process perpetrating on you, like doing something to you.
Yeah, but just because yours doesn't process.
And that's what I'm saying. So there's some stuff I don't understand. I'm ignorant to a lot of that information.
Well, you don't need to educate yourself.
But then on the other hand, I have sat in front of young ladies who were throwing their self at me. And I was like, no, appropriately.
Exactly.
But we still cannot never speak about the girl who was throwing. Just because I wasn't catching don't mean we can't talk about the girl that was throwing.
If she's a child, I don't care.
She shouldn't be throwing.
Well, if she's a child, she shouldn't be there. But it doesn't matter. She's a child. The responsibility falls on the adult. She's a child. Her fucking brain isn't even done developing yet. And I would say that vice versa if Robert stood for Regina and this was male victims, I would feel the exact same way based on the fact that these are fucking kids. And the responsibility for proper behavior falls on the adult. You can't blame a child for throwing herself. You gonna piss me off, Donald.
Wait a minute. First of all, I didn't say anything about...
I meant, like, not you specifically.
No, but I didn't say anything about blaming her for something.
But that's a slippery slope into victim blaming.
Whoa. She's not a victim. She's a hot, fast girl who's throwing.
She's a child.
And she's a girl. She's a child who's throwing.
She's a child.
Who's throwing.
She's a child.
Who is throwing at the time. So parents.
The responsibility falls on the adult.
Like she said, I'm a male, right? So as a male who's sitting there with an opportunity thrown at me, I'm personally like, yuck, I don't want this. So I have found a way to take that opportunity and push that bitch right over to the side and be like, that's not what I'm here for, sweetheart. And we continue. But for the guys who are not Donald Capers, which is everybody else I know, parents, you have to talk to your child about throwing. Because that's a part of the conversation that needs to be had. Not between me and you and them. Because we not the people parent. I need the parents, the caregivers, the people that give a damn about. When you were 15, I cared about you as a 16-year-old. I would have been like, yo, Tamika, why are you trying to have sex with this 30-year-old man? And you would have been like, stay out of my fucking business. And I'd have had to just live with that. But that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about our human personal responsibility to address issues where people can not be in that situation.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's young ladies who are being told you were a victim when they were throwing. And I'm like, the dude shouldn't have caught, nor should have did any of that other shit. He's wrong. But, sweetheart, you can't throw. That's not okay. It's never okay to throw.
But still,
because he may catch that shit. He might catch it. And that's a dangerous situation. I don't want my daughter to be throwing.
I don't either, but I still just feel like at the end of the day, even if she is throwing all day,
she should not be throwing
37 fucking balls at one time.
No.
The responsibility, and 13, again, 14, I would say 15, even if 16, it was a boy, 17, 18, the responsibility falls on the adult, whether they are male or female, to shut that shit the fuck down. That's just how I feel about it.
I hear you.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Don't throw. Do not
appropriate
throw. That's wrong.
behavior needs to be addressed, but I'm saying
but that's
even
what I'm saying.
if that inappropriate behavior is
I'm saying appropriate behavior
expressed,
for the young people, for the women of the dudes who was getting the movie parts, for the men who were on the team. Listen, I'm saying there needs to be a conversation had with the men who were on the team saying yes to coach, the women who were saying yes for the part, the young ladies who were saying yes, who were throwing like Mr. Kelly, take me. Those people we need conversation to say, how do we provide something for young people to not say that's the way to make it, is to go get with the guy with the bread. Because when I'm patrolling through any type of youth place or area, there's there's definitely a lot of 16 to 17-year-olds in that school that's looking at people that's not 17 or 18 as celebrities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I got hit on at a high school and you keep it moving.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like so basically what I'm addressing in this moment right now is, if you said to the teacher, principal, anybody in that school, he was hitting on me, he would get the eliminate treatment.
No.
But for the young lady who approaches me, I get the eliminate treatment for bringing up the fact that she was throwing.
He's a child.
She's a child, and she shouldn't be throwing. So should she be eliminated? Should she be expelled? And because this is what happens to the boys. That's what happens to the boys who approach the adult women in the school. They get
in your scenario that you just explained. Girl threw at you. You ended it. That's where it ended. You denied. You told upper management, whatever. That's where it ended. That's not the scenario of ending that we're talking about.
But
I'm talking
there's no one that's ever going to talk about if dudes aren't catching. If no man is catching. When they're just
like, oh, that's cool. Let's go. That's the part where, like, I feel like
it's slippery.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, and I get that. But like at the end of the day, the responsibility of proper behavior falls on the adult, and I would say that
I was a child.
I would say that if a child was if it was a male child or a female child doing the throwing, like they're fucking kids. They don't know better. Teach them better.
That's what I'm saying. A better fucking person. Who's gonna teach them better?
But like, don't fuck them.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with that. When I was in high school,
and don't piss on them.
When I was in high school, and the girls who were 16 were dating 26-year-old dudes.
Like that's R. Kelly is actively seeking these young girls that want to throw themselves at him, and that's disgusting.
If we take the gambit, not just R. Kelly, who is a product of an industry that was promoting that for a long time. Harvey Weinstein, same thing.
For sure.
These people, even the Don Imus, he was a part of a group of people that promoted saying whatever you want for a very long time. They were all at the spot of getting cut, which is appropriate. We just talked about how they should have been cut a long time ago.
Forever.
But since we super duper late, now we're glossing over the personal responsibility that people have. Because in the conversation, it sounds like children have this immunity to throw, which is like, hey, we are 12. I'm not talking about the step beyond that. I'm not even talking about the adult yet. Just the kid. We were two teens who were taught why and that we shouldn't throw. We were taught why we shouldn't throw.
Oh, bless you twice. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I was challenged on many occasions with older women, especially at Planned Parenthood, because of the language I use and the way I spoke about things. You know, and I was deciding to learn from that. So I'm a different guy. I'm not necessarily these guys. And thank God I haven't had the money to be these guys. I guess the money is fucking y'all up, bruh.
Right.
But it's not. But that's the thing I'm saying. It's not. It's not the money, because there's a lot of humans going through this on all of the levels. The restaurant owner at the local whatever is doing something weird, and it's like, yo,
everybody's being exploited.
That's what I'm saying. We do need to have a conversation where we're saying, one, for the person who may be at a disadvantage in this situation for whatever reason, because that's your boss, or because that's an older person, or because of whatever, there's some responsibility on both parties at that point.
Absolutely.
But
I just feel like when there's kids involved, there's more responsibility on the shoulders of the adult.
Kid or not, it's more responsibility of the person who is in the better advantage, if you will. Whatever that phrasing would be for a person. If I'm a teacher, you a student, I'm in a better advantage. I've been here for 4 years, you just started working here, I'm at a better advantage. It's still my responsibility.
But when you're doing with an adult situation and a adult child situation,
changed a lot
from
my perspective.
Is different.
I think that's why. I think because it's changed so much from my perspective, it's very similar. If I was to go into a community center with kids, however that goes down is the exact same way that it goes down at the office with the adults. If an adult female coworker throws, I'm supposed to bat that down quickly and politely and nice and gentle and sweet. And I can't go to my boss and tell my boss that happened, because then I'm going to be a target of trouble. And that's the part that I'm like, this has gotten a little, like we need to do some evaluation where it's like, we know Sarah likes to prey on the new guys because she keeps doing that. But I have never been in a situation where somebody said or addressed that happening, therefore it doesn't happen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't happen in my life because I've never seen a female who was kind of sleeping around with the guys in the office. But the stereotype is that the men are doing that. Even when I've worked places where the men were not trying to have sex with the women in the office, they were still being accused of trying to have sex with the women in the office. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the point where the woman was like, he's making passes at me, and everybody was like, well, we don't really think he's trying to make passes at you. And not because you're given a grievance that's not being respected, but because you're not really, like, you're a person who does this. Like, you kind of bring this attention to you all the time. You kind of flaunt, and then you complain, and then you like, we need this. Something else is going on. I'm not saying about right or wrong.
Maybe she just felt like being cute that day.
That's fine, but if the person she's addressing didn't do anything, and she didn't say anything to him about whatever she's saying he did, you know what I'm saying? I've seen that one.
Okay.
Where, where the guy is like, even, oh man, that's even tougher to talk about, really. But even the guy that's like, you looking real nice today. And then he's not like, you looking real nice today, as I stare all the way down into your soul. Like, he's not doing that. He was sitting next to me and he was like, you looking nice today. And then we went back to what we were doing. I refuse to speak to that person because I know that person likes to, like, be, I don't know. That person has bad days.
As a general rule, I don't make comments on, like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't even.
I won't. Anybody.
You can't give.
Is that a new haircut? You gotta keep it those type of things. No. Oh, okay. Or like, I like that shirt.
It's tough.
But even that, I don't. I'm usually like cute shoes.
Personally.
Because I still want to compliment people, but
I have a hard time with it because my approach has. I like women in it.
Yeah.
So it's just automatically going to come off. You just have to pick an
article of accessory, not even clothing. Like, that's a pretty bracelet.
I just try to keep it modest. I try to be like.
As you should.
You look really nice.
And
I'm just messing around.
It's
just I find, actually, honestly, I find myself just not giving compliments, to be honest with you. For real, me, I just don't give compliments unless I definitely know you already. Then I'll give you all of the compliments I've been wanting to give all day.
I don't want compliments from
strangers. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm a different guy, so when I hear that, I'm like, oh, I'm trying to be nice, because I really will just pull up on you and be like, yo, Wu-Tang, oh, what kind of, oh, that's dope, all right.
That's,
and
if someone walked up to me, and I'm not even just saying you, because I do get a lot of like, yo, I really like that t-shirt when I wear this t-shirt.
But that's the lead into.
This is a dope-ass t-shirt.
But that's the lead into saying your body is nice, too.
If that's where it stays, like, yo, that's a dope-ass t-shirt, I'm like, thanks, and we keep it moving.
Yeah, but he don't want to keep it moving.
Oh, well, I'm usually already halfway.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a fast walker.
He wants to be like, what about something physical?
Thanks, bye. Like, yeah. But no, it's more of like the eye ogling and like the, undressing with the eyes, or like if you're staring at my breasts while you tell, like like you said, it's not necessarily the words. It might be the body language.
Man.
And sometimes it's shit like that says a lot more.
Man.
Like when we bring up my mother and how your voice deepens and your eyes get squinty and then I want to throat punch you.
What?
It's not so much the words, it's how your whole physical...
Listen.
See?
I'm trying to be serious.
You be leaning into the mic.
I be trying to be serious.
Trying to get your Barry voice in.
Actually, no. See, I just want to be. I want to be serious with a serious person. She's a very respectable person.
That's
She's
not
about
how
her
it
business.
sounds. It sounds like you want me to beat you with this keyboard.
The keys might be a little fragile. So donate.
A keyboard.
Right. Donate the whole shebang. I'm gonna do an equipment video one day, just to be like, this is the equipment I use.
The equipment.
Because people be like, I bought the new RX 20x100. And they be making it look all beautiful.
We just trying to get a GoPro.
Man, listen, we just trying to get the whole... Listen, if you got a studio, like a video whole thing where people can come sit, we can do that too. We can do a whole show.
Yes.
We gangster out here.
Ooh, membership. And
yeah, we starting at the bottom and now we here. Man, it's been
if
30
everybody
minutes.
wants to be on here, we could do some guests, hang out, we can all talk.
I was supposed to have a guest today, but I forgot.
You were?
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot.
Who's the guest?
Exactly. Ooh, don't you want to know? So we're gonna announce that guest next time in the lead up to the next podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so is the guest going to be at the next podcast?
Hopefully.
Is it Hoyt?
Nah. Not that I know of. If it was, I would tell you. I'm black as a mug today. Let me sit up a little bit so y'all can see my face. I'm beautiful.
He's outside?
He's
outside in the sun?
Yeah.
I don't go outside in the sun very much.
Get you some vitamin D,
I like
girl.
the shade. I get hot. This is too hot. So I like to be in the sun in the fall. Because I'm like, okay, it's a nice breeze, but I stand in a sun spot to stay warm. But in the summer, when like it's just hot, I want to be in the shade.
Listen, I'm definitely would have been in a field like, man, that sun hot today, ain't it? What, like 110?
I would have been in a house.
I've been in picking.
Being raped.
Oh.
Having house babies.
But you see,
and you would have been in the field.
You see how our whole conversation is deeply rooted in how slavery was horrible. And that shouldn't have happened because it opened up the door on mistreating people for the purpose of gain. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for those of you that made it this long with us, thank you for sticking it out with me. I know I got real slippery.
Yeah, we didn't just...
Y'all thought I was talking crazy.
We meant to wrap it up. And
we meant to wrap it up, but it got
later.
extra spicy for y'all.
Yeah,
and I just want to be clear because I was being very jokey about my daughter, and I'm still sensitive. I was just joking at the first time around. But seriously, like, the conversation we were having was, I felt like it was important to have it because it's not being said. There's not enough men that are able to or have the ability to articulate.
I still think men need to do better as a whole, though.
Yeah.
Do better, be better.
But I think that's
listen to women, especially black women. We get shit done. Black girl magic.
What else? I'm listening. I'm a black man listening. What else? Put it in the comments.
Right.
Let me know what I need to be doing or thinking about or saying or how I could address some of the stuff I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm actually not trying to be a predator of anybody. Tamika could at least attest to the fact that
absolutely
I was definitely trained in what I'm talking about. So I'm not just talking about it to be like, I secretly want to really be. No, I don't like these conversations because they're like, it's like, you know, had the powers that were in power, had women and men been able to communicate better before now, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
You mean had men listened to women?
I mean...
Not communicate, just listen.
The communication goes back and forth.
Just listen for a little bit and then we can communicate.
Yeah, so, as we spoke about earlier, there's some communication that can be had even in some of those tough situations, like when a lady is on her period. So, fellas.
Period sex. Give it a try if your girl's down. As long as all parties are consensual.
I wasn't going to go all the way there with it. I was going to say, at least when she's on her period. At Capital. Gotta let them know. You gotta let them know. This was your boy Capital BC. I really appreciate it.